Two hot tablets that just released in the Philippines are the budget-conscious POCO Pad and the feature-packed mid-range HUAWEI MatePad 11.5S. So while their price points land them on opposite ends of the spectrums, both tablets clearly have a target audience in mind. In today's comparison review, we're going to find out what are the pros and cons between these two smart tablet contenders. You might be surprised at what both have to offer. So without further ado, I'm Jose from Yugatech, and let's dive right in. Without knowing their price tags, at first glance, it's close to impossible to tell which of the two is the more budget-oriented one and which is the more premium tablet. Putting them side by side, both tablets boast a sleek unibody metal chassis featuring minimalist aesthetics. Both even have the same placements for the rear cameras. When held horizontally, the POCO Pad gets two large circles that houses its camera sensors on the upper right. The MatePad 11.5S, on the other hand, retains the camera island design seen on its predecessors, which is also located on the upper right corner. The POCO Pad gets a flat-sided aesthetic, while the MatePad 11.5S has slightly curved sides, which in this instance is our preference as it brings a more comfortable grip when in use. However, that did not matter so much since we mostly use these tablets with their protective cases and keyboards attached. I mean, this is usually how you would bring your tablet around. Both tablets are fairly light, with the POCO Pad weighing in at 571 grams and the MatePad 11.5S at 510 grams. The latter is thinner, measuring only 6.2 millimeters thick as compared to the former's 7.52 millimeters. Having a slightly bulkier build makes sense for the POCO Pad since it features a larger screen and a bigger battery capacity. Unfortunately, none of these tablets do have any IP ratings, so it's better to use them away from any consumer electronic hazards like, sand and water. In the design department, we think we can all agree that both tablets did a great job in presenting themselves as premium-looking tablets. So, while the MatePad 11.5S offers a more ergonomic feel, we don't think that's enough to earn it a point over the POCO Pad. So, for this segment, it's a tie. Now, onto the display, and this is where the MatePad surely lands a punch. As the name suggests, it's got an 11.5-inch IPS LCD panel with a crisp 2.8K resolution. It runs at a super smooth 144Hz refresh rate and boasts a tad bit higher pixel density at 291 pixels per inch. Furthermore, the tablet utilizes what HUAWEI calls their Paper Matte Display 2.0 technology, a fancy name for an anti-glare layer, and it actually works as intended. As you can see, there's no light. You can't see the lightings of the studio. But not only does it repel reflective light, but it also offers a paper-like texture that achieves a very close feeling to writing or drawing on an actual piece of paper. Meanwhile, the POCO Pad sports a larger 12.1-inch display that's also IPS LCD and has a 2.5K resolution. It runs at 120Hz refresh rate and gets 249 pixels per inch. I must say though, using the MatePad is definitely more satisfying to the touch thanks to its so-called paper matte finish. The anti-glare coating is a nice addition as well, making media consumption less of a hassle outdoors or when there's just bright lights like here. Speaking of media consumption, despite both tablets having an IPS LCD display, viewing angles are very decent. The only downside is no deep blacks and colors won't be as vibrant as compared to an OLED panel. Anyways, for a more immersive viewing experience, both tablets do have stereo speakers, with the MatePad having dual speaker setups and the POCO Pad having a quad speaker setup. With that in mind, I expected the POCO Pad to output louder and a more crisp soundstage since it does have twice as many speakers. To my surprise though, the MatePad outputs better sound quality with punchier bass and overall audio, which makes sense for its price point. Not to mention, the MatePad also has relatively thinner bezels, which adds to its appeal, as you can see here. Interestingly, only the POCO Pad supports both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos for that extra oomph when you're watching your videos. The MatePad is only left with Dolby Atmos support. For the most part, the MatePad 11.5S offers more on the table with its paper matte display technology and better sound quality, so it easily takes this round. Now, Performance-wise, it's quite surprising how the POCO Pad kept up with the pace of the MatePad 11.5S considering the massive price gap. Powered by the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 chipset with an octa-core architecture and clock speeds reaching up to 2.4 GHz, the POCO Pad puts up a good fight. As mentioned in our full MatePad 11.5S review, Huawei remained tight-lipped about the tablet's processor. However, it appears to be the company's in-house Kirin 9000WL, boasting a 12-core architecture and clock speeds reaching up to 2.49 GHz. In our benchmark test, the MatePad 11.5S edged out the POCO Pad in most applications except for Antutu and PCMark. Interestingly though, the margins were narrow, particularly in Geekbench CPU scores. However, the MatePad demonstrated superior graphical muscle with significantly higher scores on 3DMark and Geekbench GPU tests. One area where the POCO Pad falls behind though is storage speed. Despite both tablets having 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, the POCO Pad exhibits slower sequential read and write speeds, at least according to Antutu storage benchmarks. Numbers aside though, you can expect both the POCO Pad and the MatePad 11.5S to deliver an above-average performance for everyday use. I did multitasking just fine on both the tablet, and for gaming sessions on Pokemon Unite and Asphalt 9 were also lag-free. For more graphically demanding titles, while high graphics settings are playable for both of these, opting for medium graphics will ensure better stability. In this round, the POCO Pad deserves credits for its impressive raw performance. However, the MatePad 11.5S takes the lead in graphics processing, giving a slight edge in graphically intensive tasks such as gaming. Thus, the MatePad takes a 2-point lead in this matchup. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, these two tablets do have cameras, so let's talk about that. And neither the POCO Pad nor the MatePad will win any photography awards. I mean, both of them pack a fairly basic camera setup. The POCO Pad rocks an 8-megapixel rear shooter and a matching 8-megapixel selfie cam, while the MatePad counters with a slightly higher resolution 13-megapixel rear camera but sticks with an 8-megapixel selfie sensor. Moving on to battery. In terms of battery life, the POCO Pad has a higher capacity 10,000 mAh battery pack paired with 33-watt fast charging. The MatePad is left with an 8,800 mAh battery with 25-watt fast charging. So while the POCO Pad does have the larger battery capacity, the MatePad did outlast it with a longer battery life, which is very surprising. In our PCMark test, the Huawei MatePad 11.5S was able to last 13 hours and 43 minutes as compared to the POCO Pad's 12 hours and 49 minutes. At the end of the day, battery life is very dependent on the user's activity. If you're someone like me who uses the device for binge-watching content, playing mobile games, expect these tablets to last half a day until, we get 20% battery. For connectivity, both the MatePad 11.5S and the POCO Pad stick to the essentials except for cellular data and NFC capabilities. The MatePad 11.5S with its higher price tag boasts a more streamlined experience. It utilizes magnetic connections for its accessories, allowing for sleek and hand-free pairing. This also means you can just place your stylus on top of the tablet. So, Huawei's Nearlink technology simplifies pairing between tablets and compatible accessories such as the 3rd generation M Pencil stylus. As an added bonus, it can also charge the accessories automatically through the magnetic ports. On the other hand, the POCO, doesn't have magnetic ports, so you have to keep things a bit more simple. With that, you do have to keep things a bit more traditional or old school since you do need wired charging for its accessories. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable considering this is a budget tablet after all. However, it counters with some unexpected features. The POCO Pad offers a micro SD card slot, allowing users to expand storage capacity, a feature often absent in this category and price range. The feature is a plus in my book considering that neither tablet offers a high base storage option. The POCO Pad also includes a 3.5mm audio jack, which is another rarity these days. It's also a welcome addition for users who prefer to use wired headphones over Bluetooth. Now with all that said, which one should you get? The POCO Pad and MatePad 11.5S are worlds apart in price, yet surprisingly close, at least in terms of performance. Priced at only 16,999 pesos, the POCO Pad punches heavier than its weight, offering an above-average performance and rare finds such as an expandable storage and even a headphone jack. It may have a bigger screen, but it pales in comparison to the MatePad's smoother and better paper matte display. Coming in at a heftier 29,999 pesos, the MatePad 11.5S boasts a gorgeous display, above average performance, and impressive sound quality. It edges out the POCO Pad in graphics processing and battery life. However, its lack of expandable storage might be a deal breaker for some. So, on paper, the MatePad seems like the clear winner, offering a premium experience with its features that justify its price tag. But the POCO Pad emerges as the unexpected value champ, delivering raw performance on par with the competition at a significantly lower cost. Ultimately, the winner boils down to what matters to you most: the user. The MatePad caters to artists and note-takers who want a premium experience similar to writing or drawing on paper. On the other hand, the POCO Pad shines for its budget-conscious users who prioritize affordability. So, with this, are you Team POCO or Team HUAWEI? At least in this comparison. Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video or at least found it informative, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel to watch more. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And of course, visit yugatech.com to stay updated with the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Jose. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.